Obviously, the goal that you have in talking to me and other people and your meetings is to proselytize or to model or to show by example how you lead, how you make change, constructive change, how you inspire people. All those wonderful, pithy words that business communicators and business consultants and creative consultants sell, use, talk about, and people want to hear. That's why Tom Peters sells his books in a way. I don't think that way. And I don't mean to rain on your parade or snuff out the fire. I started a meeting in 1984 called TED, which stood for and stands for a convergence that I observed. I observed that in 1984, that was a while ago, the technology business, the entertainment industry, and the design professions, the best of those professions were becoming one profession. Jokingly then I called it TEDologists. Nobody picked up that word, nobody cared about it. It had a difficult time in its first year because nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. And then by the time I did the second conference, it hadn't become old news, but it had become a leading edge observation. And now it's really old news. And now you can't believe that everybody didn't know it to begin with. Much the same way in 1976, I created a term called information architect and information architecture. Nobody knew what I was talking about. And now it's ubiquitous, and there's 100,000 people that call themselves, that's a non-scientific number, they call themselves information architects, and they have no idea I created the term. And in fact, there's about 20 that I know of TED-like conferences that try to follow the DNA of TED, besides the TED conference I started and sold in 2002, which they follow some DNA and not the others because they still don't get it. They still think it's a surface observation that makes something happen and not the desire to do something. My mentor is Luke Hahn, and he talked about the dualities of life, or need and desire, and that he couldn't be bothered with need. Need has to be taken care of. Somebody's hungry, you feed them. Needs need to be taken care of. Desire is where the creative act is. What do you desire? Well, there's parts of desire. Curiosity is parts of desire. Seeing patterns, observing patterns, part of that desire. Observing two patterns being put together, either really or in your head, and getting a third pattern out of where they lap over, that's a desire. Discovery is a desire. Understanding is a desire. To really understand something. Look at the difference of how you feel if I say an acre is 5,250 square feet, 280 square feet, sorry, 5,280 square feet. Think of the difference you feel if I say that and you go, uh-huh, or I say an acre is about the size of an American football field without the end zone. And then in your stomach you understand what an acre is, and it's a different feeling. It's not as exact. I wouldn't buy land based on football fields. But you understand something. And understanding something has a warmth about it for the individual. So I'm interested in understanding. I'm interested in clarification. I'm not interested in simplification, a word that you use. It's in some of the questions you think you want me to answer. And to me, simplifying something is the dumbing down. You simplify things by taking them away. Well, there's less things right there in front of me. That's a dumbing down. But if this is organized in the right way, and I can understand its place and position, it's the clarification of the information I'm dealing with. And more than half of the word information is the word inform. Now, when you started talking to me just now, you introduced me to myself as being somebody who has discovered people we wouldn't have discovered before. Well, I don't know if that's true or it's not true. They say cream comes to the top. Maybe these people would have come to the top a little later. Maybe not. I know there's quite a number of people who spoke or I brought to the surface by things I was doing that I accelerated their connections to the world. And sometimes by accelerating connections, you, at an appropriate moment, you make connections that never would happen. But we don't know. And I don't take credit for anything like that because I wasn't doing it for that reason. The reason I was doing it is I wanted to have some interesting conversations with some people. The audience be damned. I just cared about my curiosity being assuaged. I care, and I still care, about finding out about things that interest me that I don't understand. Just completed my 82nd book. Nobody has ever asked me to do a book. I do not have a publisher. I do not have a distributor. I do not have a PR person. I go to all my press checks and press runs because I like printing and I know about printing. I go because I want to do good work and I want to be responsible to the very end that it's good work. I go to a press check next Monday and Tuesday all day. I don't feel like it because the next day I go to Europe. But I'm going because the book's being printed. I want to be there.